As difficult as it is to lose General McChrystal, I believe that it is the right decision for our national security. The conduct represented in the recently published article does not meet the standard that should be set by a commanding general. It undermines the civilian control of the military that is at the core of our democratic system.
U.S. General Stanley McChrystal resigned from the top command post in Afghanistan. In his place, President Barack Obama named former lead commander in Iraq, General David Petraeus, to take over command of U.S. and NATO coalition forces. MSNBC's Joe Scarborough takes a stark tone with the general's actions, saying there is no excuse for McChrystal's behavior.
He is a general running the longest war in America. There are no excuses. There are no excuses for making a chaotic situation more chaotic, because when you have a fight between a general and a commander-in-chief in a hot zone, guess what? It's American lives that are at risk. So there is no excuse for General McChrystal.
The New York Daily News asserts this changing of the guard should keep any critics of the president's move at bay. The appointment of Petraeus, McChrystal's mentor and biggest cheerleader, to lead U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan was stunning. It indicated that Obama was wary of the political backlash from showing McChrystal the door. But Newsweek says Obama got himself into this mess by choosing to shift the war on terror to Afghanistan, a war Americans increasingly believe cannot be won. Barack Obama, as candidate and president, in effect created the IED known as General Stanley McChrystal. Now that improvised explosive device has blown up in the midst of the Obama presidency. The damage is severe, if not crippling. Because of that, the staff of HLN News feels the president was left with no other choice.
Just suppose he hadn't gotten sacked, and then we sent him back to the theater, that is, the president sent the general back. He may have been compromised, may have been weakened, because, you know, suppose I talked about you, Chuck, in an article, and it ended up in print. Talked about a lot of coworkers. Then I walked back into the morning meeting. Might feel a little awkward, right? Yeah. So perhaps he would have been compromised. So there's a lot of scenarios, a lot of things that could have happened.
But the Huffington Post's Cheryl Pappas says too much is being focused on the punishment and not enough on the cause. Perhaps he had not been successful in prior attempts to communicate directly to Obama and others intimately involved in the war. The only thing we know for sure is that he wanted to be heard, and still no one is listening. One Washington Post writer believes despite administration claims to the contrary, the road ahead has changed dramatically. McChrystal forged the closest relationship with Afghan President Hamid Karzai of any senior American official. With McChrystal gone, much of that will have to be built anew. So what do you think? Was McChrystal's resignation the right move? I'm Anna Campaign Romero for Newsy.com, where multiple sources tell the real story.